Bonjour à tous et toutes et bienvenue sur notre chaîne Connecting Brussels with Silicon Valley. En cette période de pandémie, nous souhaitons, avec ce nouveau programme, partager les connaissances de notre réseau de professionnels de la Silicon Valley directement chez vous. Nous avons d'ailleurs choisi comme slogan « If you cannot get to Silicon Valley, we will bring it to you ». Chaque épisode comprendra l'introduction d'un lieu important de l'écosystème de la vallée, suivi d'une interview d'un de nos experts. Pour ce premier épisode, nous nous trouvons au centre de la Silicon Valley, près de Palo Alto, à l'université de Stanford. L'université a été fondée en 1885 par Leland Stanford, un des membres de ce qu'on appelle les Big Four, et qui sont à l'origine du premier train transcontinental qui reliait la côte est des États-Unis avec la côte ouest. À la mort de son fils unique, il décide d'utiliser une partie de sa fortune pour mettre en place un centre universitaire d'exception qui portera son nom. C'est désormais l'université américaine la plus sélective, avec un taux d'acceptation qui dépasse à peine les 4%. Elle compte un peu moins de 17 000 étudiants. Elle a formé de nombreux entrepreneurs, comme Elon Musk de Tesla, Sergey Brin et Larry Page, cofondateurs de Google, ou encore Reed Hastings, cofondateur de Netflix. Plusieurs entrepreneurs bruxellois y ont également poursuivi leur formation. On peut y rencontrer les étudiants belges au sein de leur groupe Belgica. Stanford est aussi remarquable pour la Belgique avec la tour Hoover que vous apercevez derrière moi. Elle culmine à près de 90 mètres et son carillon a été fabriqué dans notre pays, en remerciement du programme d'aide alimentaire fourni par les États-Unis à la Belgique à la suite de la Première Guerre mondiale. On trouve à l'intérieur du bâtiment de nombreuses pièces d'art qui rappellent notre pays, ainsi que les armoiries des 9 provinces belges de l'époque. Stanford a été également l'université choisie par le roi Philippe pour ses études en sciences politiques. Il y reviendra d'ailleurs à l'occasion de visites lors de la dernière mission économique organisée en Californie en 2013. Pour le lancement de notre programme d'immersion virtuelle, j'ai enfin choisi ce lieu prestigieux pour une autre alumnie de Stanford, Sophie Alcorn, experte en matière d'immigration et qui nous rejoint maintenant pour notre première interview. Hi everyone, and welcome to our first virtual session connecting Brussels with Silicon Valley, aka CBSV. It's my pleasure to welcome Sophie Alcorn, founder of Alcorn Immigration Law, which in 2019 was awarded the Law Firm of the Year in California for entrepreneur immigration services. So Sophie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Eric. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm so delighted to participate.
I'm really glad that you can share your expertise and in recognition of your outstanding skill, you joined the National Advocates Top 40 Under 40, and you're also a recognized speaker at numerous organizations in Silicon Valley, including our friends at TechCrunch. Sophie, you have provided your services to many entrepreneurs from around the world, including founders of startups funded by Y Combinator and Sequoia. So I guess my first question to you would be, what are the options for entrepreneurs and their employees, who come from Belgium and need a foot in the ground in order to expand into the US market?
Thank you. There are so many ways that people from Belgium can come to the United States. There are many options. There's short-term visas, there's long-term green cards, there's a whole alphabet soup of visas. But there's lots of options. So the place I always start is, okay, where are you now and where do you want to be? And how quickly do you need to do it? How much international travel do you need to be able to do? Are you married? Does your spouse need to work? How long do you want to stay in the US? These are different factors for everybody. So it could mean an investor visa. It could mean an H-1B worker visa. It could mean an O-1 extraordinary ability visa or a J-1 researcher visa. There's lots. People think that our immigration system is broken, which it is, but don't let that stop you. If you have a dream, there are many legal, creative ways to navigate the system depending on your needs and goals.
And which visa you think is actually the most used one, for people coming from Western Europe or Belgium in particular?
It depends. So for startup founders coming here to Silicon Valley for the first time to be the CEO of a brand new company, if they're already quite accomplished and broke, then the O1A extraordinary ability visa might be best. If somebody is investing their own money on the order of $60,000 to $200,000 to start a new business, then the E2 investor visa might be a possibility. So those are the most common short-term solutions. But if a multinational company is expanding, or a company that's been successful in Europe wants to start a US office, that could open up another visa type called an L1, which is for multinational managers and executives and intercompany transferees.
Okay, great. And based on experience, what is the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when it comes to immigration and visa?
I think there's a assumption in Western Europe that our immigration system is quick and you can just come on over. And we welcome you. I welcome you. We would love to support you, but a little bit of long-term planning can be helpful here, especially as we're rebuilding the system after the last 4 years. And I'm sure there's going to be many improvements ahead, but where we're at now with COVID and consulate closures and just the way the Trump administration has left our immigration service, it means that it can take a long time. There's a lot of scrutiny. They're understaffed over there. So for you, what that means is you need to be strategic about the timing of your plan. So if you think you want to move to Silicon Valley anytime in 2021, the time to start planning that is now, just so that if there's certain things you need to do, like set up a US entity or put yourself on Belgian payroll or raise some additional funding or go get some accomplishments, like go judging some startup pitch competitions. These are all things that are not that hard, but they can take time. And especially if you're moving a whole family and your spouse needs work authorization as well, it's good to think of immigration on a 1 to 3 year time horizon.
Oh, which is a long horizon for most funders. It's
very long. It's very long.
It's really long term. Okay, great.
But that's if you're Belgian, that's including a green card as well. And if you just need to come here for some business meetings, we still have ESTA. You can come for 90 days. And if you want to come for like 6 months and you're okay with not getting paid, you could get a B1, B2 visitor visa.
Yeah, and that's usually the way people start.
Other intermediate options, yeah. And once you're here on that visitor visa, you could maybe switch categories as well. It's more of like if you're going to relocate your family, try to figure it out at least 6 months ahead of time, because that has a lot more moving parts.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of the elephant in the room, but we are a week away from the inauguration day, and I'm just curious about your thoughts regarding the change that might happen with the new Biden administration. Yeah, I know. It's a tough question.
I'm like meditating. There is the possibility of many wonderful things for immigration on the horizon. It was a campaign promise of Biden and Harris to completely undo all of the Trump era immigration changes in their first 100 days. This includes things like ending the racist Muslim ban and helping all of the asylum seekers. So, that's a huge focus for the country. But in terms of business immigration and entrepreneurship and Silicon Valley, there's a lot of wonderful possibilities that could happen in the next 4 years, such as a new law to pass a startup visa, so that if you don't have money and you're not award-winning yet, and you haven't worked for a Belgian office of the company, but you want to come here, if you get an investor from the US, that could be a reason for you and your founding team to move here and build the company. So that would be a wonderful development. There may also be a new regional visa so that cities and counties could sponsor immigrants to come if they need more jobs in their communities. So I think there's a lot of ways.
Also at the state level, like the state of California could have this.
Yeah, or like here, like the county of Santa Clara could say, we need more tech entrepreneurs. We're going to sponsor them for green cards, perhaps.
That would be a big change.
It would be amazing. It would be so amazing. So I think that also there's just going to be more budget for immigration. They're going to hire more adjudicators to work for the government. The processing times will get faster. The consulates will reopen. The visa bans will end. It's just going to be a lot easier.
Well, I'm sure all these insights about the future and what can happen will be very useful for our entrepreneurs. Is there anything you would like to add to sum up somehow your advice to our Belgian entrepreneurs?
Well, it's anything is possible, and
that's very American statement.
I know, it's so American. My mom's European. She's from Germany, so I understand that I have a different mentality than my German relatives. And I know Belgium has its own unique culture and perspective. But the American perspective is if you can dream it, you can create it. And, if you have a passion for it, do it. And it doesn't matter if people tell you no, and where there's a will, there's a way. And
well, I was about to ask you for an inspirational quote that you would like to share with our audience, and I like that one. I use it a lot. There's a way.
I also, when I, back in the day when I was starting my firm and I felt not confident, I used to tell myself, fake it till you make it. And then I changed it and I said, okay, fake it till you believe it, because you already are it. So
that's a good one.
But the one I wanted to share is you are the creator of your own reality. And look, I started my immigration law firm out of my kitchen. We've worked out of my garage. Now I have 15 employees, and we've grown doing immigration law under the Trump administration. So, those two things don't really go together very well. So, whatever your dream is, founders, you just know that you are the creator of your own reality. And if that is something that resonates with you and that's a culture that you want to be a part of, that's definitely something that you can find here in Silicon Valley, where people will support you to build your company in the US and in Belgium and in Europe and beyond. So.
Well, Sophie, I know you have limited time for us, and I appreciate you took the opportunity to share your thoughts and your knowledge about immigration. It was great having you today in our CBSV virtual session. Thanks again for sharing all this knowledge with our founders and for helping us connect Brussels with Silicon Valley. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Merci de nous avoir rejoints sur notre chaîne Connecting Brussels with Silicon Valley. Vos commentaires sont les bienvenus. N'hésitez pas à vous abonner et à très bientôt pour un nouvel épisode.